So, I got to talk about the fact that Issa Rae just came out and basically curb stomped the music industry as we know it. She says that it is probably the worst industry that she's ever worked in, etc. So let's get into a little bit of the background as to why she said that, and then we can actually go into some of the things that she's talking about. All right. So Issa was just interviewed by the Los Angeles Times, and they asked her if the music business is a place where good ideas flourish. To that, her answer was absolutely not. It's probably the worst industry I've ever come across. Now, to go further, she said, I thought Hollywood was crazy, but the music industry, it has to start all over again. There are lots of conflicts of interest, archaic mentalities, villains, and criminals. It's an addiction industry, and I really feel for artists who need to get into it. It was something shocking to discover. Now, over the course of the last couple years, Issa Rae has been stepping her feet into the music industry. She has a partnership with Atlantic Records with her company, Raedio, which is a company that she signs artists. She also goes out her way to do writing camps and things of that nature in order to bring the best artists, songwriters, and producers together to actually make music, not only for Insecure, but all of her film projects, because Raedio is effectively a music supervision company as well. HooRae Media, she's been killing it just as a whole. So as she's been dealing with artists, producers, and songwriters and having to cut through the red tape and seeing what these creatives have to go through with their labels, trying to get agreements and contracts in place while having to deal with the mechanics and the logistics of their already pre-existing contracts, I'm not shocked by the fact that she says she don't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Some people only put up effort because you are the meal ticket, you know what I'm saying? And they're gonna put you in these egregious contracts. I've been through it myself. I mean, there's a lot of predatory people out there, and they don't feel bad about what they do. They feel they're justified in what they're doing because they wanna secure their nest egg, you know what I'm saying? But as you get further into the music industry and you actually deal with artists that are signed to established labels and publishers, it's even worse because the terms are already so bottled up. She made reference to the point that there's many conflicts of interest. What is a conflict of interest? Let's define that. Let's say I want to manage you, right? But I'm also an employee for the label that I work at. You know what I'm saying? So when I bring you to the table, I'm not just looking at you as, oh, you're a talented artist, I want to help you out so much, because I'm already managing you. But now I got you signed to my label. So who's going to actually be the person to fight on your behalf when you have disagreements with the label? Anything that you do is going to benefit me twofold, right? But there's a lot of situations like that in the industry, even down to attorneys. How many times have you heard about artists that didn't have access to attorneys or didn't know anybody, but when it came time to sign their recording contract, the label brought them a lawyer that says, oh, this is a beautiful deal, you should take it. They sign their paperwork, then years later, somebody brings it to their attention like, yo, that was dirty. She speaks about archaic mentalities as well. I posted a video not too long ago of Jay-Z talking about how Doug Morris from Universal Music, basically, when Jay-Z came to the table and wanted to buy the rights to his last album through the Universal Music umbrella, they had a disagreement about what the price was. Jay-Z was like, man, I'm not gonna fight you over $1 million. Doug Morris says, but I'll fight you. And basically, it just goes to show that no matter how far you advance in this industry, the people that have been here before you do not take kind to when you try to change the mold. The music executives that have been here for 40 years, 50 years, since they were 25 years old and now they're pressing 80, they're not gonna want somebody that's going to shake up the game, make things more equitable for artists, because that takes away their power. And they're not going to want to give away the power. Number one, because they're already used to having it. And number two, they're grooming people up under them to uphold those same mentalities moving into the future. So now the people that are 25, 30 years old, they're being trained under the same mentalities and mindsets of those that came before them. Some people may say, oh, but I'm in the industry now to change things. And maybe you are, maybe you feel that way. But how much pressure are you gonna take before you break? It's a question a lot of people gotta ask, you know what I'm saying? Because you come in with great intentions, but when you get into the system, how many of y'all are gonna actively fight it? She talked about how artists are treated in their production label contracts or publishing contracts, you know what I'm saying? Got to look out for things like MDRCs, you know what I mean? A lot of y'all don't know what that is, and I'm going to have a separate video going into that. But in the meantime, if you want to go look it up yourself, just go search what an MDRC is. I hope that this was informative. I hope this gave y'all a little bit more insight, because even though I'm the one that gives a lot of this information, I know that a lot of y'all don't appreciate this stuff until somebody of note says it too, all right? So there you have it. Issa Rae says that the music business is trash. Know what I mean? Now, I ain't gonna say it's trash, but there's a lot of trash that goes into it, especially when you start dealing with other companies, those that are bigger than yourself, and you get inducted into the system. All right? Much love and respect, man. Stay tuned. Peace.